For the final segment,
Would You Rather? Reoccurring second episode of the week segment. So this week, Elric, would you rather Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald? In the context of starting an NFL team, you are rebuilding. Those are the two top guys in the draft. You got the number one pick. Who are you taking?
Aaron Donald.
Okay.
It's not close.
Yeah.
People undervalue getting pressure from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the edge rusher is like the flashiest because you get the most one-on-ones, and you get the blindside hit, and it looks like whoa.
Yeah.
But I think just as valuable is getting like a QB pressure from the inside.
Right.
Because when you're in a quarterback's face, that's like the distress signal, and that's how you get you speed up his internal clock, and it has like way more implications on the entire game than I'd say like one blindside hit.
Right. I would say the same, but I think also having a defensive tackle like that takes such a load off not just the defensive backs like you were saying because of the pressure in the face, but in the run game, your linebackers.
Yeah.
Having someone dictate the middle of the field because the double is usually coming from the center and the guard on most run plays, right?
But the thing I would say about Aaron Donald in the run game is he's not a D tackle that's gonna
sink the double.
Yeah, he's not. He's looking to penetrate always.
Right.
He's not gonna be like, okay, let me eat up these blocks so my linebackers can make the play clean. He's like, I will make the play, which is a great thing, but.
Right. Even still, offensive coordinators are going to plan around him even in the run game, right?
Yeah.
Because the weaker guy is always going to be the other tackle.
For sure.
When he's on the field,
For
right?
sure.
So.
It's Aaron Donald. I thought we were going to do
we'll do a different one.
Give me your case for Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett
or
Aaron Donald. Okay.
I'm still taking Aaron Donald for the same reasons.
It's pretty close, but the thing with Myles Garrett is the fact that he creates so many turnovers as well. The amount of strip sacks he gets, like Khalil Mack will get a lot of sacks and will cause a lot of disruption, but Myles Garrett turns the corner so fast. I think he has 4 strip sacks this year, and that's led to 28 points for the Browns. And that kind of influence. It's just when you're watching Khalil Mack, you're like, this guy is just
Are we talking Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald versus Myles Garrett?
I'm just saying compared to the two. Just in terms of pass rushers, it's Myles Garrett is so much. Just watching him come off the ball is so much different than watching Khalil Mack come off the ball.
Yeah, Khalil Mack and Myles Garrett, it's not close for me either. I'm taking Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
He's an explosive athlete. He's got more size than Khalil Mack.
Mm-hmm.
More explosiveness, and I think his motor is way higher than Khalil Mack's. That's one thing that always bothers me about Khalil Mack is he will show up and then disappear.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is one thing to be said as well for the edge rush versus tackle thing. With tackle, you're getting 3 downs every drive for the most part, right? So that.
That's why Aaron Donald is so good. He's never taking a play off.
Right.
He's relentless. He plays I can't think of one weakness in his game.
Right.
You can talk about the height, but that's not a weakness to me for Aaron Donald. That's a pre-draft knock on him.
For sure.
But there are no weaknesses in Aaron Donald's game.
I mean, if you still just have long arms, your height doesn't really matter all that much as a defensive lineman. It's John Randall was a 6'2" defensive tackle back in the day too.
He's just he's not as athletic as someone like Myles Garrett. He's a technician, and when you're a technician, when you have when you work so hard on your craft when it comes to hand and footwork, and the way he can flip his hips and get through double teams easily, you can't block him no matter how much physically stronger you are than him because he'll find a way off the block.
Right.
And so maybe Myles Garrett right now wins a lot with his hands, but he also wins a lot just because he's so much more athletic than guys. If Myles Garrett can add the hand and footwork that Aaron Donald has, then Myles Garrett has the potential to be like the best pass rusher who ever lived.
Right. It's totally true, man. It's like, I mean, if he hadn't swung his helmet at Mason Rudolph last year, like he already had 13 sacks, I think, by week 10 last year. It's like he could have realistically broken the sack record. It is second season.
See, the thing about that incident last year that worries me is that I don't know if he'll get the Defensive Player of the Year nod because so many people don't like him now.
Right.
And it is, at the end of the day, a subjective award. The best player doesn't always get it.
No. I mean, if you're talking about all-time robberies, dude, J.J. Watt, the year Aaron Rodgers won, because he threw 36 touchdowns and 2 picks or whatever. It was like crazy numbers too. But J.J. Watt had like 19 sacks, scored 4 touchdowns at tight end, like had a couple interceptions. Like it was the most ridiculous performance in terms of all-around playing that you will ever see. Like you'll probably never see that again. Like a defensive end lining up at tight end catching fades.
But the thing is, he got his sacks from all over the defensive line too. Right. Like he's getting it from both sides at end, and he's getting it from the 3 tech and the 1 tech. Like that peak, like JJ Watt, he was the most versatile defensive lineman in the league. He was so disruptive in the pass and the run. It's like it bums me out with
JJ Watt or Aaron Donald.
Prime JJ Watt versus prime.
Yeah, they're like you're drafting them knowing what they could be coming out of the league, same age.
I think I still go Aaron Donald.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, see that one to me is like, I think I'm going JJ in that scenario because of like the added dimension of like the leadership thing that comes into, because what that does for a locker room.
Yeah.
I think that changes everything. Like when you see him in Hard Knocks, I think there's like what we've talked about, like the contrived emotion and all that. And like I don't think you get any of that with him. I think he's like, I guess straight up like
Aaron Donald is kind of like a quiet guy. He doesn't seem like
and so is Myles
leader.
Garrett. So Myles Garrett. They're both very much like reserved. They'll punch you in the mouth and swing a helmet at you. But it's like with JJ Watt, you're getting like a true game changer and a locker room presence.
I mean, I think in that situation, it really is just up to preference.
Yeah.
But you make a good point about the leadership, and like if it's like I'm starting a locker room, I'm not just thinking about like on the field. I'm
That's the
thinking
thing.
Off the field too.
You're the first pick because you sucked. You were the worst team. That's in that scenario. I think I'm going JJ because you're going to change the culture right away. It's like having an Ed Reed kind of guy or a Ray Lewis in the locker room.
But now take into account durability.
That too, I would just tell him stop flipping truck tires and just lift weights and do other explosive workouts other than tearing your back apart, you know?
Yeah.
I think there is something to be said with like a coach can reel a guy in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you see it, but I think there's a lot of bad coaches who are like more is more versus the less is more approach. It's like you gotta have guys work hard, but you also, you know, football players, like people don't realize a lot of dudes will go until the wheels fall off. Like there's some guys who you can tell who they are, who like, you know,
they'll take care of themselves and they'll be like, something is not right with my body, let me take a couple practices off.
Then further than that, there's a guy who's like, I'm not going to run the wind sprints at the end and I'm going to fake an injury. And then there's the guy who's like, I'm going to run everything, do every rep and show you what it means to be a tough guy. But then that guy ends up, it's like the nice guys finish last theory, you know? It's like in that scenario is like the truest.
Check out Joey's posts on r/nice guys.
Woo! Don't. But I don't even know what that is.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's a crappy thing about being a dude like JJ Watt. It's like, I'm going to give you everything I have, but like at the end of the day.
At the expense of my own longevity and stuff,
Because it's like, I feel like his drop-off shouldn't be as steep as it's been.
Well, you know,
I mean, with the injuries.
But he's still, like, when he is on the field, he's still disruptive.
For sure.
He's not the same guy he was in those years, obviously, and, like, I don't think anyone expects him to be.
No, like, 2013 to 2018, he was, like, just lights out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it really started in all those Houston, Cincinnati wild card games that would always happen.
When you think about that 2011 draft, how crazy was that draft?
Who was in that one?
So it was Cam Newton first overall, and then you got like Marcel Darius early, or no, you got Von Miller first. So Cam Newton first, Von Miller second,
Right.
Marcel Darius third, and then Patrick Peterson, J.J. Watt. Like that's a crazy draft.
That's pretty deep. Man, honestly, dude, I think the Von Miller JJ thing is tough too. Was it Aldon Smith in that draft too?
Yeah, he was.
Like crazy. Those three guys are
If
like
Aldon Smith had stayed out of trouble,
he would have been the best.
He would have been talked like with those guys, maybe the best. Yeah.
Because like his sack numbers were on par even when he was missing games for like all of his suspensions. Like he was still rolling with all those guys. So I think, yeah, man, that's such a shame. Him
and Josh Gordon.
Him and Josh Gordon, dude.
Yeah,
like those
biggest
guys were
wasted
like,
potential stories in like my lifetime at least. Is
well,
like
Josh Gordon would have been our Randy Moss.
I remember that the year we went to that Browns game.
Yeah.
Like before that, Josh Gordon had been like, I think like 2 weeks before that was the back-to-back 200-yard games.
Yeah,
it's just like
New England.
When I was watching that, I'm like, holy crap, this is like the next guy.
Yeah.
Like this is the best receiver in the NFL.
100, dude.
He was doing that with like who? Brian Hoyer?
No, it was not Spurgeon Wynn.
Whoa.
I don't know. I was gonna say
Jason Campbell.
Jason Campbell was one of them. And there was another guy, number 6. I forget what his name is. But regardless, he led the league. He had 1,600 yards and like 10 touchdowns, and he only played 13 games. He led the league, missing 3 games. And it's like AB was in the league then. Brandon Marshall was at his peak.
Yeah.
That was the game we saw. It was Alshon Jeffrey's rookie year.
And
Remember how good the Bears used to be?
yeah, Jay Cutler, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall,
Matt
Martellus
Forte.
Bennett, Matt Forte.
Yeah.
Still had Brian Urlacher and
Yeah.
Lance Briggs and stuff.
DN. The DN.
Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers, yeah.
Yeah.
He was nasty.
Charles Tillman.
Charles Tillman. Oh, good
The good old
times.
days.
Good times.
Josh Gordon.
He tweeted the other day, should I start coaching or keep trying to play? Don't put that on Twitter, dude. You should
Don't
probably
bum me out
retire.
like
You should
that.
probably
Don't
retire.
bum me out like that.
Yeah.
That really is a bummer, man. He was like the most explosive guy. Like you don't see 6'4" guys move like that.
No. Take a slant. Like he was like
He was like Julio Jones but faster.
faster. He was like DK Metcalf, but faster. Like
Yeah.
DK is like still kind of like lumbering, and
No, I would say he's probably the same speed as DK, but he was like more
twitch.
Yeah, more like crisp of a route runner and
Yeah.
had better hands. Last thing we'll say before we end this podcast, DK Metcalf last night dropped 2 huge passes. One smoked him in the face.
Yeah.
And the other one, he probably had like 30 yards of running room.
Probably could have scored.
It's
Probably
like
could've scored.
it's like once you get that together, then we can start talking about DK as like one of the top receivers in the league.
Yeah.
But like right now, he's just like a big play threat, but not so reliable. And you can see that in Russell Wilson's play, where like in big moments, he's going to lock it.
Right, for sure, and rightfully so. I mean, Lockett's been more of a clutch dude for Russ over the years.
I
but
think they really miss Doug Baldwin right now too.
dude, he was dope.
Because he was just a slot, get open, I don't need to be fast, I don't need to be like a freak athlete, I'm just going to get open.
Yeah. And him, Jermaine Kearse, Golden Tate back in the day.
Yeah.
That was a good squad. But, I mean, we've been rambling long enough.
This is nice.